Hello and welcome to Productivity Nerd, a podcast all about getting shit done, hopefully in an elegant way that doesn't leave you too broken. In our crazy worlds, we're all about balancing the need to work enough to make ends meet, enough not to annoy our bosses, but also enough that we feel like we've done enough, which can be a whole different psychological and emotional ballgame, along with the human need to rest and stay well. Plus, on top of that, we'd quite like to enjoy ourselves, maybe just a little bit along the way, spending quality time with those we love. I, for one, love hearing about how people get that balance and work more efficiently so they have more time to do the things that they love.
Hi and welcome to Productivity Nerd. I'm joined today by the brilliant Helen Taylor, podcast editor, ops wizard and all-round productivity partner in crime. Hi Helen.
Hello.
Hi. Today I am really excited because we are diving into one of the real big hitters in kind of personal development terms, Atomic Habits by James Clear. The book is, I've read it now, I think I worked out about 4 times, in the hope that it would sink in. But the book is really about how tiny changes can lead to massive results. And today we're going to talk about it, break it down, and have habits number 2, whereas we feel like we've done habits number 1.
Yeah. The difference for me with this one is I actually read the book and a few weeks ago, so I started putting some of the bits into my life, into practice.
Sort of same, so it's kind of, we'll get to it. But I'm really glad you're here for that one, so I don't get too carried away because it is one of my favourites. And James is such a clear writer. His stuff, sorry, no pun intended, his stuff just kind of, I think it just lands really differently, but it's not preachy. It's not, I'm so worthy and I'm so brilliant. It's all about the small changes. And I think he had quite an interesting life, which kind of led to him developing this. But also it's based on a lot of the stuff that we covered already with Charles Duhigg in the previous episode on habits.
Yeah.
So, it's sort of familiar but built on, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's written in a very practical way. Like at the end of each chapter, you've got a downloadable PDF that you can fill in, and this is how I'm going to achieve this bit, and this is what I would write when we're talking about this. And they're really short chapters, and they've got a summary at the end. So if you're like falling asleep and thinking, what was that about again?
Yeah.
It's fine. There's a couple of bullet points. Oh yeah.
And I'm glad you enjoyed it. I warned you would. What was your sort of biggest, oh my God, I love that moment?
There's a bit, I don't know, halfway through where he says you're either a potato or an egg.
Okay,
It's to do with that both of them change once you put them in water. So your eggs go hard when they boil, and your potatoes go soft when they boil. And it's about this idea that if you're just not naturally a person who's good at or likes doing whatever it is, nothing in the world that you do is going to make you do that or become that. So you're a real morning person. Nothing that you add into your life is going to make you suddenly be able to stay awake till 1 a.m. It's just not. So that for me was like, okay, I'm going to stop beating myself up because I'm not the kind of person who can do this. It's fine.
Love that. I don't remember the whole egg potato thing. That's brilliant.
It resonated with me. I'm like, Jamai, egg or potato?
Once I've read it, I do not remember that. That's brilliant. Lovely. So like you, I reread the book again, preparation for this. I probably did it a couple of months ago. I was a bit ahead of myself, and figured, I've read it lots before. I can just reread it again or / do it on Audible at double speed. And I thought I must resurrect. I must do a new habit as part of my part of this. So I have to confess, both of them not gone terribly well because I'd lost momentum. So. But the one I did was one that I think he suggested, which is really nice. So we will get into the nitty gritty malarkey about this, but essentially you've got 2 types of habits. You've got habits you want to add in because they're good stuff, and then you've got bad habits that you want to get rid of. And the same sort of principle applies for either in reverse. And I'm very conscious we're recording video and I'm flapping my hands about like some kind of
The
weird.
next habit is stop flapping.
Stop gesticulating. If you are on Audible only, I apologise, but think of me as some kind of weird Darren Brown. Anyway, so yeah, my the habit I thought I'd try was one that he suggested. So this is building a good habit, and what it is, it's dog cuddling, which is never a bad thing. But what he suggests is that if you want to add some sort of feel good moments into your day, you can build on what already makes you feel good. So dog cuddling. So the idea is you take 3 nice calming breaths, and on the 3rd breath you smile, and then you cuddle your dog, right? Pretty easy so far. I usually have a dog hanging about. I can do that. And the plan being that over a time of doing this, eventually you don't necessarily need the dog. The cue of the 3 deep breaths will make you smile and give you all the feels. And I do think it's worked. Plus, I get more dog cuddles when I'm
More dog cuddles. I'm in for that.
yeah, always. So yeah, that's one I tried. And then I was in the gym this morning, or I very nearly didn't go to the gym this morning, and a James Clearism just literally leapt in my brain as I was very rarely lying in bed going, oh, I don't want to go. I don't normally give myself the option to think about it, but I've not been feeling very well. So it was kind of a, do I go? Do I not go? I was like, I missed one on Monday because I've mixed my week. I missed one Monday. Don't break the streak twice. And I was like, right, okay, I can't break the streak twice.
Yeah.
I've broken it once, I can't break it twice. And that did get me to the gym, where I fully half-ass humaned it, did half a workout and then came home. And I was okay with that. So yeah, see, it's almost like I'm learning stuff doing this podcast.
Yes, curious. Yeah, I really like that. Don't break the streak. It kind of gives you your cake and eat it. So you're allowed to have a day off and not feel terrible about it, but don't do it again.
Yeah, yeah. And we all know, don't we, whenever you do something, whether you're falling off a wagon and you go, oh, sorry, the longer you leave it, the harder it is to get back, or you get back and then you almost immediately fall off the wagon again. We kind of intrinsically know that it is the case that if you don't get straight back on it, it's really hard to do. But yet we all just make excuses and go,
yeah, but the thing is, because exactly,
I can't. Yeah, exactly. So James Clear says you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Which I love that.
Yeah. But this was going to be my other aha moment.
So what does it mean to you in real life?
It's not about focusing on some big scary goal. I mean, I'm probably going to jump ahead a bit here. It's more about thinking what kind of person I want to be and what kind of things that sort of person does.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit fake it till you make it. So rather than focusing on the end goal, you just go, well, I'm just going to be that person who does this now. And then you are that person who just does that.
Yeah. I am a person that goes to the gym.
Exactly.
I am an entrepreneur, or I am whatever.
And then you find you're accidentally achieving those big objectives that had you been obsessed with them 6 months ago, you would never have got anywhere near.
Yeah. So not what would Jesus do, but what would Richard Branson do? That kind of.
Yeah, and it's not, well, I want an island in the Caribbean and a million in my bank account.
I'd live.
It's about, well, I'm going to be the kind of person who does what Richard Branson does.
Yes.
And then you get your island in the Caribbean. And I think that's how it works. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it is about making decisions not based on who you are now, because who you are now is obviously an amazing person, right? We all are. But if you're trying to achieve something, you need to be looking to the future and base your decision based on the future person you want to be, or Richard Branson, whoever. No one wants to be. I don't know why. I don't know why I picked.
I don't know why you picked that one. No.
We unpick that. I'll be Grace Beverly. Actually, she's hot. She's entrepreneur, queen, goddess, and wrote a fabulous productivity book. I'll be her. What would Grace do?
Exactly.
Start off, Richard. Love you,
I'll,
but no.
I'll take the cash, but everything else.
I'll take the island. It's all good, but please can I be Grace Beverly instead? Because she's ace. Yeah, indeed. And in terms of systems, I think it is all about repetition, isn't it? And we can all have all the brilliant ideals and plans and goals in the world, but if the methodology is not in place to make them easy to do, we're just not going to do them. It doesn't matter how easy or how hard they are, there have to be, which we're going to come on to, sort of how it works in practice in James Clear's methodology. But that whole kind of, if I'd laid in bed this morning and gone, oh, we're going to the gym, and I go, no, do it, as it was, I got up, I picked my clothes up from a pile and went downstairs and pressed the button on the kettle, and my mugs were all there. You know what I mean? I'd made it as easy for myself as possible to go. If I'd had to add more stuff into that, then I probably would have just gone, yes, I'm going to go back to sleep for now. So
that's the thing that's been working for me, is making it easy. And that's been the real sort of shift in why am I not doing this thing, is putting things where I can see them. So I've got hand cream everywhere in my house, which now means I'm using hand cream.
I have eye drops everywhere in my house for the exact same reason, because on my task list every day I have eye drops, and I at the end of the day go, oh, I forgot the eye drops. 4 times a day I'm meant to put eye drops in my eyes, so I now have them in every single bathroom and by my desk and everywhere. I cannot move without falling over a bottle of eye drops, and it's the same thing, isn't it? If it's easy to do, you're going to do it because it's right in front of you. It is almost harder to ignore them.
Exactly. And also I've seen other people do this. I have a friend who keeps hand cream in a box by the door where he keeps his keys. So every time he leaves the house, he puts hand cream on. A little bit obsessive, but super soft hands, and that's what we all want.
Well, if that's what we're aiming for, then yeah, perfect. In my case, not dry eyes. I'll take it.
Exactly.
So thinking to the sort of the bones of what James Clear was talking about in Atomic Habits, he talks about 4 main laws of behaviour change, some of which we've touched on already. So the 4 laws are: make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. So all of these can relate to hand cream, and possibly eye drop. No, maybe not eye drop. But
I mean, making it satisfying, presumably putting eye drops in, it relieves whatever it is you need the eye drops for.
Yes, yeah. Although a little bit like dehydration, they say if you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. My eyes are very much the same. By the time they start hurting, the moment's passed. I should have done it 3 weeks ago. Do you know what I mean?
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I mean,
okay. So make it obvious. So this is basically ways of making it easier to do the thing you want to do, the cue, if you like. So you stick your apples right in front of the kettle and you hide the Tunnock's tea cakes at the back of the cupboard. You put your journal on your pillow so you see it when you go to bed, and then you have to move it before you go to sleep, so it's really literally physically in your hand. And the reverse habit, trying to get rid of a bad habit, if you want to get away from screens at night, you might unplug your phone and put the charger in a different room or something. So for each one, you've got a sort of good habit to add in, or a less attractive, say bad habit to get rid of. So that was make it obvious. The other one is make it attractive. Well, we've talked about temptation bundling before, I think, on one of our mini pods, which I absolutely really love temptation bundling. Very excited to see that in the book. What that is, as a reminder, is doing something very necessary but extraordinarily dull whilst doing something nice. So maybe it's doing your filing while you listen to your favourite podcast, or watching a movie while you're cycling in the gym, that kind of thing. Doing your inbox while you're sat getting a pedicure. All of those things. Something to make the fun stuff more appealing, but the idea is it's concurrent. You don't, go to the gym and then have a pizza. It's you do the thing at the same time.
You have a pizza whilst you're in the gym.
Yeah. What would Richard Branson do? I know what Grace Beverly would do. She would have a damn drink. If she's forced to work late, she has a nice drink. So I'm sure that entrepreneurs are down with that. So yeah, so temptation buddling. And thinking global and a bit less frivolous, and also slightly towards the hand cream, there was a health initiative way back when they were trying to encourage people to hand wash in Karachi. So about 60% of the population lived in temporary accommodation with no running water or electricity. And it was pretty unsanitary and obviously led to a lot of diseases. But when water was put in, people still weren't washing their hands. Even when everybody sort of intellectually knew that it would stop the spread of germs, they still kind of weren't doing this task, and they had the means to. And it was a bit like everyone believed it was important. Everybody said, yes, it's very important, but nobody actually did it. And they ended up, this health department actually partnered with Procter and Gamble, the sort of big, consumer company, and they switched a very boring, mundane soap to a really, really lovely, foamy, creamy soap. It was called Safeguard, which doesn't sound either lovely or foamy or creamy. It sounds very dull. But anyway, it was a premium brand. And all of a sudden, hand washing massively increased because it was really nice. Got all the lovely suds and all the nice soft hands. So all of a sudden, everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to wash my hands because it feels nice. It became attractive. And as a result, the rate of disease declined hugely, up to 50% in some cases. But was really interesting. Eventually, Procter and Gamble got a bit tight and pulled their free soap, and they went back to the mundane soap. But the habit stuck because it was already in. So that is just one way of how we think very tiny things can actually have a massive impact. I thought that was fascinating. So that is make it attractive. So yes, your nice hand cream. Maybe you need to get more fancy hand cream.
I've got fancy hand cream.
Good woman. Of course you have. Why would you not? The next one is make it easy. This is my favorite. Lots of ways to make it easy. But my favorite is the 2-minute rule. Keep the pressure low, commit to something, however small, and it's harder to escape it. So my second habit, after the dog cuddling, which I do occasionally, I was trying, and then I broke my streak. Haven't got back into it. I was doing 2 minutes meditation a day because I reckoned even I could muster 2 minutes. And I could, until I forgot, and then I forgot again. But anyway, I shall restart. I obviously haven't made it attractive, easy, obvious.
I don't know how you would make that in your face easy, obvious, and attractive.
I could set a time. I could set an alarm to remind me to do it.
Yeah.
That would help, because I literally forgot. I had been writing it on my planner, and then I stopped. I forgot to write it over one day, and then ta-da, gone. So, yeah.
That's true. Setting alarms
But
does work.
if I was doing, I could also make it. I could have a nice candle, maybe.
Yeah.
Make it more satisfying. Put some nice music on.
Yeah.
But I like the 2-minute thing because he talks about this with all his habits, doesn't he? About I literally, when you start, you just sort of put your gym kit on and go, and I'm done, and take it off again and carry on.
This is something I really liked. The idea that you don't just change your life overnight. Start small.
Yeah, start really small, which and the end game obviously isn't to exercise for 2 minutes a day for the rest of your life. But once you've done 2 minutes, you can then, after a few weeks, go up to 3, and then the habit is built.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's all about prep as well, making it easy, like me getting my gym kit out and sticking my, make it simple for yourself to do in the moment. And the last one, make it satisfying. So obviously this soap is relatively satisfying because you're left with a nice soft hands. Same with your hand cream, left with nice soft hands. Maybe it's a bit of a dopamine hit, so you've got a little tracker to tick. And he also talked, Helen, about habit stacking, which I quite like.
This is what I've been putting into practice.
Oh, tell me more.
So there's just things that we do every day. Getting out of bed, hopefully, for most of us. But the thing that I have to do every day is feed all my animals. So when I get out of bed, it's exactly the same thing. All the food goes down in the bowl. And I've put my robot vacuum cleaner next to the food bowls now. So when the cat food goes down, I turn it on. And now I don't have cat hair everywhere.
Love it. Love it. And that's one of the, I also have, I have two robot vacuum cleaners, I have Dobby and Winky. And I'm pretty good at remembering to set Dobby off, but because he's downstairs and I have to move less stuff for downstairs, that's always the thing, isn't it? I mean, it's very easy to just go boing, go on a Hoover, but you also pick up all the dog toys. I've got a mat that it always eats, so I have to remember to pick the mat up, that kind of thing. Upstairs, there's way more hazards that need pre-moving. Oh, I like that. Yeah, so feed the dogs, that's the cue, and on top of that, you've stacked, set the Hoover.
Exactly. And it's normally done before I have any calls, so I can hear it going, which is really satisfying. There's nothing more satisfying than hearing something else or someone else cleaning your house. And when it stops, that's like cup of tea, empty it, plug it back in.
Yeah. And I was chatting about this with a friend actually. She quite often says she gets up, she makes a cup of tea on Saturday morning, she goes back to bed, but before she goes back to bed, she puts the dishwasher on, she sets the robot Hoover going, and she puts the washing machine on. She's like, and I go back to bed and I listen to all these slaves.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, this is the sound of progress, emancipation.
Yes, I mean, bring on AI if it does the household chores. That's what I say. Probably. Pretty good. Yes, I'm trying to think how much I have been trying this. So I have a real failing in that I forget to take my tablets every day. So I have tried to stack taking my tablets with my cleaning my teeth before I go to bed, which more or less works. Where it goes to pot is if I'm not here overnight and I have my toothbrush in a bag and I'm gone, and that way confusion lies. But so far I've been here and every night I have taken my tablets so far. So that's a win.
I just realised that I've added a going back a step, something to make it more satisfying. Taking my vitamins in the morning, rather than taking them with water, I've been taking them with lemonade because it's nice.
That's
So,
very cool.
but I haven't missed a day, so that's forward.
Oh, I like that.
Not fizzy lemonade, but like natural, healthy lemonade.
Well, it doesn't matter, does it? It's the water is boring, and adding something that is nice and fun makes it more pleasurable. Maybe I should do that, not with the teeth cleaning because it would taste as
No, that's what reminded me. Thinking I couldn't do that because you can't mix lemonade and minty toothpaste.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, I think that one would bomb hard.
Oh, tea and toothpaste, one of the worst combinations in the world.
Oh no, it's not as bad as orange juice and toothpaste.
Yeah, you win, hands down. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Excellent, good. We digress. Just things that do not have it stacked well, orange juice and toothpaste. So let's talk about the valley of disappointment. This is me with my meditation. So you're forming a new habit, you're doing whatever, working out, writing your journal, eating healthy, whatever the thing is. You do your thing for days, maybe weeks, and nothing happens. Like you do it, but you know, a six pack has not magically appeared. You've been writing and no book deal has appeared. You haven't got the boundless energy you were fully expecting. And it feels like the effort is kind of going nowhere. That's the valley of disappointment. When you're doing the thing and you've been doing it religiously and doing it for a while, I hesitate to say, you know, I've had 3 salads and I still weigh the same, but that's the sort of thing. But over a longer period of time, right? Because everybody knows these things take time. And James Clear uses this to describe this kind of frustrating gap between what you expect to happen, which is a nice linear improvement on whatever the changes you're hoping to make, and what actually happens, which is a flat line for a really long time. But what I like about this is how he doesn't describe it, actually, it's somebody else. And this is how I think about working on LinkedIn, to be honest. This is how I think about my LinkedIn posts. Who the hell was it? It's somebody, basically you sow your seeds and you water them and you water them and you water them and you water them and nothing happens and you just see soil. It's all you can see for what feels like ever. And then eventually a little shoot comes up. but what you can't see is that actually roots have been growing downwards for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Just because you can't see things happening doesn't mean they're not happening. So it's a bit like LinkedIn. Just because I can't see, loads of people getting in touch with me to do whatever.
All those lurkers they can see you.
Sorry?
All the lurkers can see you.
The lurkers are lurking. We love the lurkers. But yeah, I have to believe for my own sanity that there are lurkers and that what I'm throwing out is doing some good in the world, right? And although weirdly, I did have somebody message me about something, and congratulations on the award, by the way. And I went, lurkers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As a lurker myself, I can tell you, we notice things.
Good. And the other example he gives, so mine is the seed sowing, but the ice cube one.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah. So and that again makes a lot of sense. So you've got an ice cube sitting on a table in a cold room, whatever the temperature is, 25, 26, 27, it's still sat there, 28, 29, 30, still sat there, and then nothing, 32 degrees, and the ice melts. And it looks like it's instant, but actually it was the result of all those degrees of the room going up gradually. So it was accumulating, but it was accumulating invisibly until it reached a tipping point. And that is how habits, whether good, adding good ones or getting rid of bad ones, that's how it happens. So what we are meant to learn from ice cubes and seed sowing is just because you don't see change or don't see the results of change doesn't mean it isn't happening. And effort builds momentum even when the results aren't immediate. And when it looks like overnight something miraculous has happened, it's not miraculous. It's because of the earlier work unseen. And we do this, don't we? When we look at other people on social media, we go, oh my God, how did they pull that off in 10
minutes? Because they spent flipping ages building up to it.
Yeah. It looks like, oh wow, 5 minutes ago they were this, and now look at them. And it's like, well, actually, yeah, you don't see the iceberg of effort and sweat and misery underneath the tip of the, what people are posting about on the Tinterweb. So yeah, next time you feel like nothing's working, just tell yourself you're only at 29 degrees, you've got a couple to go. So yeah. So new habits, robot Hoover, loving it.
Very much so.
Vitamins, loving it. Any others?
So I'm starting small. I mean, I finished the book a week ago, and I'm trying not to change my life overnight. Well, my approach is once I effortlessly become the type of person who doesn't have cat hair all over the floor, I can move on to thinking what other type of person I might be.
Oh, what is the kind of person who doesn't have cat hair all over the floor?
If we get to the point where I'm the kind of person who always has a clean car, then we're done. We can just close the book and move on. I'm not saying that's my ultimate goal because we're not setting ultimate goals.
No. But what would be one little step that you could add as a habit to try and get to eventually having an always clean car?
I mean, I could park next to the outside hose. That would make it easier. That's not one step. I'm thinking ahead.
Okay. Is it the outside of the car that's filthy or the inside?
I mean, it's both, Kathy. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. But what about something like whenever I get out of the car, I'm going to take one piece of rubbish with me?
Oh, it's not that bad. God.
Okay. I had visions of like some kind of trash can on wheels meandering.
No. The challenge is I live in a village and it's constantly dusty and I drive on by a lot. So I can't get the blood off, Kathy. My car, insect blood. Yeah, so my car's just constantly filthy from driving on the motorway all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not quite that rural, but relatively rural. And it's not so bad in the summer because it's not really flies, it's more mud. Although it's harvest time at the moment, so it's quite a lot of dust. But yeah, I now keep in the car a little cloth and squirty bottle because sometimes my back camera will shout at me because it's got mud on it. So at the very least, I will go and
Oh, a squirty bottle though. Oh, I like that.
Squirty bottle and a cloth, yeah, in the car, so that I can at least do like a 30-second camera clean so I can see when I'm going backwards. When obviously I can look behind me like a muggle and go backwards. But you know, we're more modern than that these days. So, anyway.
I'm doing it. Next time we have a conversation, you can ask me if I've got the squirty bottom.
Good. And is there a bad habit you're going to remove? Because you're all
So actually, from the book, there's a section about social media, and he asked his assistant to change the passwords to his social media on a Monday morning and not give him the new passwords till the end of the week, which I love for many reasons. I don't have an assistant yet, but what I did was just delete Facebook from my phone. And what James said in the book is that he found that he hadn't really missed social media during the week. It wasn't that he felt this burning desire to ask for the passwords. And I absolutely haven't missed Facebook whatsoever. Not having it on my phone just means that I'm not looking at it. And I don't feel like I'm missing out. I haven't seen Temu adverts for ages.
Wow.
I know.
Living the dream.
or the strange things the algorithm pops up, because
Yeah.
there ain't nothing of my friends on Facebook doing anything interesting.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, mine, I tried to think is that, so this is one habit he talks about, and I think Charles Duhigg is obviously a thing, sweet things. So and only really after lunch, whenever I've had lunch, it doesn't matter how full up I am, I always fancy just something sweet, just for lunch. And I've been keeping chocolate in the fridge because, you know, it's been warm. But of course, what that means is I open the fridge and have a bit of chocolate. Not a lot, it might be a square or a couple of chocolate buttons or whatever. But I have moved them out of the fridge and made them harder to reach, and they're in a cupboard at the top. So I have to go and get a step to get them. You know, they're not at eye line in the fridge anymore when I open the fridge. And if I want something sweet, I will make like a herbal tea or something. And then what is interesting, it is so much a habit, because actually once I've walked back upstairs to my office after thinking, oh, I need something sweet, if I don't have something sweet, that thought is gone.
Yeah.
Almost instantly. If it was still there, I'd go back down and I'd get something sweet, right? Because it's still there. But it's just become a habit.
Exactly. You've got more willpower than I just have to stop buying things, because I'm if I buy something sweet, I probably eat it in the car on the way home. I have absolutely zero willpower. So if I don't have it out in the house, I can't eat it. That is the only way that works for me.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yes, well, my top cupboard thing is working so far, but I am still eating some sweet stuff. Because I got given lots of lovely sweet stuff for my birthday, including some brownies, which, as you well know, because you sent them to me, I could not walk past that box of brownies with that. In my defense, they were very small brownies, so having many in a day is quite perhaps as bad as it sounds. But you know, every time I made a cup of tea was a little much. But I did put the rest in the freezer.
I'm not going to apologise for enabling that bad habit.
Nope, never. Birthday allowed brownies. And we talked a little bit earlier, because of my gym traumas this morning, about missing habits. So I obviously have missed my meditation. I've missed one gym thing. But it's okay to miss it once, don't miss it twice. And there's a bit of sort of science behind this, a bit of psychology. So it reduces guilt spirals. So missing once is human, missing twice is a choice. Like that.
Yeah.
Because stuff happens, right? Stuff happens, you have to miss things. But yeah, missing twice. It builds identity. You're still the kind of person who works out, meditates, writes, even if you stumbled, because even Grace Beverly, I'm sure, will one day go, I can't go to the gym today for whatever reason. And I'm sure she doesn't beat herself up about it. But she probably doesn't do it twice in a row, because I can tell she's a go-getter. I know this.
Exactly. She's the type of person who goes to the gym on a regular basis.
She is the kind of person who goes to the gym. Exactly. The woman has got a fitwear line. She goes to the gym. And it leverages pattern recognition. So habits form through repetition. So obviously, if you relapse, it's then really, really hard to get back. So the quicker you get back in the saddle, easier it is to just snap straight back into that habit without it causing you any bother. So yeah. And there is a bit more of a nerdy bit. Because if you think about the ratios and the stats, right? If you miss it once, it's going to have no impact over the long term. If you miss it twice or more, that's your streak's going to break and inertia sets in. So you lose that energy and you start making excuses, like we said, or important reasons why the thing cannot happen. You know, that whole kind of, well, I already ate half a cake and a pizza, so I might as well have a Chinese.
Exactly. I've got to eat it all.
Oh,
My favourite's me for birthday, so I've got to eat the brownies.
And it's Friday night, so there's no point starting again till Monday. But yeah, that kind of thinking. So, and there's some caveats to all of this, right? So I don't think it helps to get too obsessive over missing twice, because sometimes, I was ill the other morning, I didn't go. I'm not going to force myself to go to the gym if I'm ill or injured, and I had surgery, so clearly I wasn't going to go to the gym when I had surgery, and I really missed it. But that was 6 weeks I was off, as medically sanctioned. So it doesn't help to get too obsessive, because it can lead to that all or nothing thinking, which is that whole, well, I had a pizza Friday, so actually
I'm clearly not the kind of person who eats, salads.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of person. And burned out people, right? You may need once or twice to get back to where you are. If it is something like training, we did our session on burnout, and actually some kinds of exercise aren't great for you if you're burnt out, and you shouldn't be doing them. Exactly. We're thinking of this in an exercise way, but there's many other habits you might be doing that you go, actually, I need a break. Break. And self-kindness matters. Sometimes life throws more at you than you can rightfully handle, and the right thing to do for yourself is to give yourself a bit of grace. So yeah, sometimes missing once is a data point, missing twice is a pivot point. You need another little phrase.
I like it. However, you need to take that in the context of being kind to yourself.
Yeah. And it's always a bit of judgment call, isn't it? When are you being kind to yourself, and when are you making lovely excuses? I think that's the key, isn't it? And sometimes perhaps it's switching something out. So when I couldn't go to the gym, I would do more walking, or I'd do some stretches, or I'd do whatever was within reason instead of.
Yeah.
So yeah, use it like a compass, not a whip. So don't use it to beat yourself up, but use it to keep you, like I did in bed this morning. And I literally said to myself, don't break your streak twice. And I went, oh God. Weird, the caveat in my head for self-kindness that said, and if you go and you do 10 minutes and you hate it, go home. I'd given myself, I'm the kind of person who would, kindly say to myself, you haven't been feeling great. If you go to the gym, it's all just horrible, go home. And actually I did more than 10 minutes. So it's fine. I didn't do the whole thing. It's fine. So did we enjoy the book, all in all?
Yeah, very much. It's a book I'll probably read again. But in terms of things I've put into practice, I think probably of all the books, including the sleep one, and I love sleep, this is probably the one that I'm going to actively
the sleep one, lovely as it was, if you already like sleep, appreciate sleep, and do sleep, what else are you going to do?
More sleeping.
More naps.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a limited amount of personal change one can do if you already appreciate the value of sleep.
But I think it's clear how many other things either it has been influenced by, or people who read the book have probably been influenced by it as well. I remember when you had Asmara on the podcast, I don't know if she talks about this on the podcast, but she always talks about taking one thing. So this is when you're leaving your office and you've got an empty cup of tea, take that with you. And then it's one less thing that you have to do later. So it's thinking about when you're moving between tasks. Is there another thing which is habit stacking, right?
Yeah. And I used to work in restaurants, so we used to have many little adages like this. One was never walk with empty hands, because you
Right.
always clear something, move something. And the other one was, if you've time to lean, you've time to clean,
Oh God, that's awful.
isn't it? And yeah, but I worked out when I first started tracking my steps, I worked out that I'm incredibly efficient, because I don't do that thing where I think, oh, I'll go and get such and such from the bedroom and I'll go up and I'll come back. I'm like efficient slash really lazy. So if I'm in the bedroom, I'm like, oh well, I need that later, so I'll get that now, which is,
But that's actually a point he makes in the book. It's not that super efficient people are really organized. They're quite lazy.
yes,
The
that's
idea
me.
is kind of harnessing that laziness. Uh, like, okay, I'm not going to be bothered to go and get this later, so I'll make it easy and accessible now.
Yes.
It's laziness, but it's super efficient.
Yeah, now talking of super efficient, I've talked to both you and Claire, I think, about my complete inability to ever have petrol in the car,
Yes,
to the horror
on many occasions.
of, yes, I have embraced Fuel Fridays.
I know, it's in your diary. I love
I
it. I
know,
was so happy when I saw that in there.
I know, Fuel Fridays. So I now, because I almost always go somewhere on a Friday, irrespective of, I might either go to a networking thing or I go for a swim, or I generally tend to leave the house on a Friday for something and go somewhere with a petrol thing, because I live relatively remotely and there isn't one around the corner. So I have started filling up on a Friday, whether or not I need fuel. This is revelatory. I haven't had the light on my petrol gauge for like months. It's weird. I mean, it's great, but God, I feel so smug. I love it.
Do you
Forget
feel like you're
Friday.
spending less as well? Because each time you fill it up, it's not, I don't know what it would be in pounds, like £100 to
Oh
fill up a
God.
car.
No, what is it? It's about £50, I think, to fill my car.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's a flipping hybrid. Should be way less than that.
oh, that's
If
why.
not. Yeah, so I tend to do it. I either do it on a Friday, or if I know I'm going somewhere that's likely to have more cheap fuel on a different day, I'll do it that day.
Mm.
Like if I go to the cinema, there's a Tesco's that have really cheap fuel. So I'll be like, right, it's not Friday, it's only Wednesday, but I'm here, going to do it anyway. And again, it's like sort of laziness, but
Mm.
efficiency.
Efficiently lazy.
Efficiently lazy. This
Yeah,
will be our new productivity book.
efficiently lazy. The other thing that this book reminded me is I have a friend who always says, if it only takes 1 minute, just do it now.
Yeah. Yeah, the 2 minute rule, I call it. Depends on whether it's
So,
a minute or two.
so I've been doing a lot more things like that. When it's in my head, I'll just do that now before I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah. Because otherwise you've got to write it down or remember to do it another time. So you might as well just do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm pretty good with that, with things like going to the dump. So I've been doing a lot of office clearing and stuff lately. And there is always a tendency when you've got a pile of stuff that needs to go to the tip to just stick it in the garage or think, oh, I'll do that
How
later.
do you know about my garage?
So I haven't this week, and it is noticeable and it's making me twitch a bit. I've definitely got a box of stuff that needs to go. But I have been right, once I've done the clear, even though probably there will be more, I'm just going to put it in the car and I'm going to go this very minute and go. And yes, I could stave it up and do like one massive trip, but actually it's going to take me 20 minutes to go because it takes not far from here. So I don't think about it, I just go. So yeah, is it more efficient to store it up? I don't know. But
It
it feels,
depends though. If you're storing it up and you never go, then yes,
well, yeah,
because that's the danger.
it is. This is inspiring me to go to the dump this afternoon because I've got things piled up quietly when I've not been looking.
So on a similar basis, I cut some trees down and the branches are still in the garden because I look at it and go, I just can't deal with that. But if I take just one or two to wherever I've been throwing them, let's not talk about that.
Oh, country life.
Then
Throw it over the hedge, you'll be fine.
they're still on my land. They're just out of the way in a piece of land that I can't see.
Good. It sounds perfect.
So I'm allowed to throw them there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so rather than thinking of it as a big hole that I'll do at some point when I have time, chipping away at it literally, is better, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's like doing a big decluttering or something, isn't it? And Claire has actually she's lined me up to do a podcast about something which is called "Just Go Into the Shed," and I'm not sure there is even a whole mini pod on it, let alone a whole pod. But there is something about the first part of the task is looking at the task and going, okay. But
Yeah,
actually, when a task gets so big, like the garage from hell, which mine was until a few weeks ago, you just kind of go and you throw stuff and you just run away quickly without looking at it because you're like, I can't even, because it's too big and it's
yeah,
too unmanageable.
yeah,
So sometimes you just have to go, right, okay, I know the garage is bad and I know I can't do everything because I haven't got like 5 days to gut it, and even just thinking about it is making me tired. So what I am going to do is I'm going to do that little box there, and that's all I'm going to do. And it's that kind of thing, isn't it? Where you just go, I can't do it all, but I can do something. And that's
exactly.
progress.
And I think James Clear gave us permission with this of like, you don't have to do it all, you don't have to change your life overnight. So thanks for that. That's what I took from the book is it's fine. I'm going to be the type of person who doesn't have cat hair all over the house, and one day I might be the type of person who has a clean car without splattered insects all over the bumper. Maybe.
Are you the kind of woman who owns her own personal car wash though? Because that just feels to me like what might be needed to, I mean, never mind your island in the Caribbean, maybe you need your own personal car wash or your own valet. Maybe you need a valet.
Oh,
Live-in car washer / pool boy.
I mean, that's not his name, but I'm sure.
Maybe you're the kind of woman who has her own gardener / car washer. That's what we should be aspiring to.
Yeah, who can dump my my tree cutting somewhere out.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you, Helen. It has been grand as always. I hope you enjoyed listening to our very brief summary of Atomic Habits by James Clear. Highly recommend going and reading it. It is not a difficult read, and it is the kind of thing, as both of us have said, we'll sort of reread again because you pick up new stuff each time. I read it 4 times. I still do not remember the potato and the egg thing. So clearly a 5th time is required. And you get to cuddle dogs, set off robot hoovers. It's great, absolutely great. So that's it from us. Thank you, Helen, for joining me. If you enjoyed this podcast, please do hit the follow button, give us a review on whatever form of podcast listening you're doing. If you are on YouTube, which we are now doing, and you've seen me gesticulating wildly for the last however long, please hit the bell thing. That would be cool. Thank you. She says very technically, not really understanding how YouTube works yet. Thanks for listening. So that was my session with Helen on atomic habits. I hope you enjoyed it. What is the one habit that you're going to work on this week? No pressure, but keep it small. I'm definitely going to try and re-energize my 2-minute daily meditation habit. I might try stacking it with sitting at my desk, maybe. Definitely need a cue for it. If you've been inspired to start or stop something after this episode, do drop me a note, tag me on socials, all that good stuff. I really love hearing from listeners that are enjoying the podcast. Until next time, keep being intentional, keep it tidy and tiny, and thank you so much for listening. I'm Kathy Soulsby. That was Productivity Nerd, a podcast about helping you do more of the right things efficiently so that you can go and live your best life. If you've enjoyed listening, a little reminder, please do rate, review, and subscribe and all that good stuff. It really helps more people find us. Thanks.